Sorry about that, folks. I got a little beside myself because I was so happy that we got the first song done after all that time. Speaking of beside ourselves, we're now into the B-side of the single, which means that we're going to have a cool new song for you that probably won't get played on the radio, but it doesn't matter. The B-side never does. But we have to do things a little bit differently now because we've only got 4 minutes worth of tape left thanks to using so much on the A side that I'm going to have to do the verses myself, and this poor excuse for what they call themselves a band is going to have to just sing the chorus. That way we get it all right in just one take. So without further ado, here it is. The new song by Rychard. Don't you just hate it when you're at the bar, minding your own business, drinking a beer and watching the hockey game, and the drunk idiot next to you tries to tell you he knows how to pick up any woman, then proceeds to turn to the one on the other side of him and says, "Hey baby, can I buy you a beer?" Without noticing it's really a 7-foot-tall, beer-bellied, steroid freak named Bob, wearing a bra instead of a shirt, who gets up, hits the drunk idiot over the head with a banjo, knocking him out, then goes back to watching the game you missed half of because of it, which makes you want to get up, throw your beer in the drunk idiot's face to wake him up and say, "Just because you are one doesn't mean you have a dick." And don't you just hate it when you leave the bar and go to the donut shop to have a coffee and read the paper to find out the score of the hockey game you missed half of, when the guy at the next table, who happens to be the drunk idiot from the bar, staggers over, trips over his shoelace, lands face first on your newspaper while slobbering, making the ink run so you can't read it, and says, "I know how to solve all the world's problems if I were president of Toronto," even though it has a mayor instead of a president, which makes you get up, dump your coffee over his head to sober him up and say, "Just because you have one doesn't mean you have to be an asshole. That's bullshit.
What are you doing? You missed your cue. You're late for your cue. Better late than never, Dad. Sounded good, though.
Hold it. Just stop. Hold it. Stop. Just stop. Stop.
What? What was wrong with that?
Yeah, it sounded good.
But I didn't hear a verse in there that makes fun of women. Whatever happened to equality? You don't want to be sexist, do you?
No, I just want to be sexy. That's why I'm wearing my thong. Do you want to see it?
Shut up, Dick.
Yeah, dream on, Dad.
If you were sexy, I wouldn't have divorced you. Well, anyway, my point is, to keep from losing the female audience, you have to have a verse about them in the song. Can you do that?
I just thought of the perfect verse for this situation. Ready, boys? Shop and walk home with the drunk from the bar following you singing the song all wrong, and when you get there you realize you locked your keys in the car that you left at the bar, and then suddenly your wife whips open the door and says, "You're half a second late. Where were you?" While the drunk idiot mumbles incoherently, slouches on your couch, drinks all your beer while watching a repeated hockey game that you missed at the bar, as your wife continues to yell at you, causing you to miss the game yet again, making you go back out the door after you say,
"Just because you are one doesn't mean you have a dick."
And just because you have one doesn't mean you have to be an asshole. That's bullshit.
And just because you bark like one doesn't mean you have to be a bitch.
if you don't like the song, you should dump him for me.
Who are you?
I'm Richard Head, but you can call me Dick.
What was that? That sounded the same as the first song.
That's because it's part 2 of it.
No, it sounds exactly the same as the first song on the single.
Mom's right, Dad. Even I can tell that with my helmet covering my ears.
Yeah, what's that all about?
So what? The other pop bands get away with it, so why shouldn't we?
My point is, after all this time I've put up with you, the least you can do is write a song for me. We have a son together, for God's sakes. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Now wait just a second. I have just finished listening to the playback of the commercial break and caught you saying he isn't even mine.
So, I only said he was to scare you into a real job so I can marry you instead of just hanging out with my ex pretending to be a band.
That just gave me an idea for a song that shows how I feel about someone like you.
Well, get on with it then. I ain't got all day. I got important things to do, like spend hours on my hair, get my nails done, and watch 15 soap operas, you know. The real things in life.
Let's get it on. This is a true story that happened on Valentine's Day. I was trying to write something romantic for my old lady, but no matter what I did, it just wouldn't do. And then suddenly, all hell broke loose. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Can you dig it? Here we go, yeah. Let's get it on. For my girlfriend, I was writing a song when she said, get off your lazy ass and mow the lawn. I got the blues, yeah. And them grumpy girlfriend